Hey, I just got back from lunch. Did you finish that report yet?
Well, not exactly. Still working on it. I'm not finished just yet. I got a little sidetracked, but I will get them to you first thing this afternoon.
It is first thing this afternoon.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but I mean, I am working on it. I'll have
What do you mean that the report isn't finished yet?
I'm still in the process of working on it. I've just been a little distracted.
Distracted. Our meeting starts in an hour.
I can have it.
No. What were you doing? Were you listening to another hunting podcast again? I swear, I give the staff in this office the freedom to do whatever they want to do as long as they meet a deadline. That is the first bullet underneath your job description. Pays attention to detail and deadlines. And deadlines. With emphasis. F-O. Dude, are you even listening to me right now?
Hey guys, if you're looking for a quality bow dealership near Newcastle, Pennsylvania, look no farther than Williams Archery down in Edinburgh, PA, just minutes west of the city. They offer Hoyt, PSE, Elite, Bear, and many more brands. Go check out their bow fishing equipment or stop in for hands-on shooting lessons. Give Ron and Linda a call at 724-667-9660.
Welcome to episode 41 of the Whitetail Distraction Podcast. My name's Austin, and joining me in the Rack Shack forever because he's the other co-host or host of the podcast, Charles Henlon. How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good, man. You got some spotted cows in here, and this is my first go at a spotted cow.
Pretty decent, right?
Yeah, I was just hitting it a little bit there as you were doing the intro. It is the Wisconsin Yingling, as you say.
That's what I'm calling it, man, because that's what it tastes like to me. And I love Yingling, so it's good to go.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I was looking at it, you brought it out, I'm like, man, this thing's gonna taste like shit.
It's going to taste like a cow.
I didn't know what it was. I really didn't know what to expect. I thought it was like one of those fancy craft beers.
Yeah,
you know?
man. Made with real cow.
Yeah. That's right out of the udders. I hear they put the udders right into the bottles and they just right in there.
Pretty sure that's milk.
Oh, damn. You're right. If cows produced beer.
Oh, dude, I'd have 10 of them in my backyard.
Me too.
It'd be good.
I'd have them all over the neighborhood. I don't even care. Anyway, sorry. I'm really good at getting off topic.
Dude, I'm okay with it.
But it's an intro, so we don't really have a topic.
We don't have a topic really for today. It's just us here in the studs. I'm in the studs with my dude.
We're actually not here with anyone today for the first time. We say that a lot, and then there's someone sitting there. But I can assure you I'm looking right now, and there's no one in that chair, I hope.
There's no one. Yeah, I hope too.
Because that'd be creepy. We don't have anyone on the phone. Hey, guys! Shit. This place is haunted. We're going to have to move.
Oh, God.
The Rack Shack's haunted.
Oh, man.
You heard it here first. So, hey, big exciting news coming up. I was looking into it today. I was on the website, Camo Cares, man. 9 days until Camo Cares shoot.
I'm very excited, man. We have a full team this year.
We have a full team.
It's going to be good.
We are replacing one spot, unfortunately.
Did we find a replacement?
Not yet.
Well, we are.
We need to. And if we don't find one by the time this airs,
I'm just going to shoot twice.
You guys send us an email if you want to come with us, and we'll consider it.
We'll take it into consideration.
We're expecting a lot of people, so we can only pick one. No. But seriously, we need another shooter. One guy backed out on us. He has a basketball tournament. Burks, you bum. So, yeah, we had that conversation last night, but I am looking forward to it. I think we're going to try to do a sponsor. We really need to. We can do the bronze level, I think it was.
We don't got to get that high.
It's,
we'll do bronze.
It gives us a sign on all 3 courses. Gets our name out there. Maybe some people see it. There's going to be thousands of people there.
Yep, definitely.
Tons of shooters. 400 shooters usually?
Something like that, yeah.
Man, I'm looking forward to it. I was just texting my manager the other day. I'm getting a little fired up about it. I'm ready. I'm looking forward to spending the whole day there. We had to leave early last year. We didn't get the whole experience. And last year was a blast.
Oh, dude, I had a great time last year. You said you're ready to rock. I am not even close to ready to rock because I've only shot my bow twice this year.
Well, that's 2 more than me, but I will be getting it out here if it ever stops raining. Dude, I looked up a statistic the other day. Actually, I saw it come up. 72% of the days of this year, there has been precipitation.
Ooh.
That's rain or snow. 72% of the days.
Pretty sure that's more than Seattle.
That's insane.
That's pretty crazy.
And it's raining right now.
It is. I can't get away from it, man. Our fishing's been hurting us. My scouting has been hurting us because I'm ready to scout, but I'm not ready to get wet.
Yeah, I'm actually worried about a lot of things. Like right now, turkeys are nesting.
Yep.
You know, there's going to be water areas that are going to be forcing either predators to dry ground. There's going to be a lot less land for them to hide in. Those low river bottoms are going to be up, so they're going to be forced up to higher grounds, which might screw up the nesting. And that's like, there's so many things. There's fawns right now that you got to worry about.
I saw a fawn yesterday.
You did.
Yeah.
Indeed. And
Yeah,
he was
it's
actually,
pretty
well, it was taking advantage of the water.
Yeah, she's taking a little drink. She, whatever, was taking a little drink out of the water. Super cute.
It hasn't identified itself yet. It's too young.
Yeah. Oh, God. But you know, one thing I'm actually really worried about for this year because of all this rain, how bad are the mosquitoes going to be?
They're horrible already.
I know. It's only going to get worse, man. They can literally nest anywhere.
It was dropping down into like the 40s at night last night, getting really chilly, and I was still getting lit up.
Yep.
Usually when it drops down like that, they're nowhere to be found.
Yep.
Man, they were all over the place.
All I can say to everybody out there listening, invest in Thermacell stock because I'm going to be buying a bunch of it. So
We might have to buy a whole nother refill.
I'm
Because
going to have to, for sure.
I think I'm already through 2 of the cartridges just
I'm
from
through 2
turkey
of them
season.
too, man. From turkey season.
I've been bringing them with me fishing on the kayak.
Me too, man. I've needed it.
I forgot it the one night. I literally got lifted out of the kayak for half a second. I had to grab the paddle and start paddling because I was literally leaving the ground.
Yeah.
They were going to lift me and bring me into their lair, and I was never coming back.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude. It's bad. It's bad. I'm very scared. Early season's going to be rough for the deer stand.
It's going to be real tough. I'm hoping it just gets really cold before then.
Yeah,
And
well.
maybe sets back the population of mosquito.
Hashtag global warming.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but
I don't know. I mean, hopefully we'll get into that. We're going to get into early season tactics. We're going to talk a little bit about our deer season, but I want to recap. We kind of promised listeners we were going to recap turkey season.
yep.
And we didn't even get into my kill story.
We didn't get into yours. We didn't get into mine. And we'll pretty much just do that, and then we'll work on to the next topic.
And the funny thing is we recorded that first turkey episode the night I killed my turkey.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
remember.
literally.
And we're like, we'll wait, we'll keep it. We'll keep it for a full episode, but we're just going to quick recap. So I think where we left off, we had our Ohio hunts.
Mm-hmm.
We had that opening weekend. Anthony got his bird, and it was a struggle after that.
It was, man. I was having a hard time getting on birds, period.
This season got tough.
It did.
I did not hear a single gobble until I think it was the 3rd weekend of the season. Because remember, I went with Bud and Junior.
Yep.
Well, actually, Junior, Bud had to watch his newborn baby.
Yep.
Because his wife was working. And I went out with Junior, and I went out with Ferletta. Ferletta was running camera. He still had his gun with his second tag. And I got on this bird that gobbled and gobbled and gobbled. It was insane.
Yeah, you sent me a freaking, I think, Snapchat
Yeah.
of the audio, and you were like, dude, this bird gobbled 400 times.
At least.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Like, I've never experienced anything like that before.
Intense.
From the second we got set up, and we walked right around this bird, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And we got set up, and we made so much noise. We're rumbling around. It's a horrible morning. And then all of a sudden we sit down. As soon as we sit down and get all set up, we hear a gobble off in the distance.
Beautiful.
I'm like, well, we're not going to stay here. That's far enough away. We got to get up and move. Left the decoys set up. We just got up. And we're like, we're running gunning now. Let's go. We took off towards the noise. And it's starting to get light now to a point where you kind of want to be set up.
Right.
But, I mean, he's just hammering.
Yeah.
Gobble, gobble. A motorcycle goes by, he gobbles 10, 12 times.
Oh, jeez, he's a good one.
Dude, he's just going off on the roost. So we get all the way up, and it's weird. We're hunting on the top of one giant hillside, basically, like a big ridge top. And it kind of runs out, and these birds roost all off the edges the whole way around this big top flat. Like, it's pretty big area, but it's all flat on top, big mature woods, some open areas, and he's roosting off the edge. So we get to the top where we can peek the top of that ridge. He sounds close at this point. I bet you at that point, because we're now almost eye level with the bird.
Yeah.
Never did see it. But he sounded like he was right there.
Man.
Within 100 yards, 100%. Because I went later on, we'll get there, but later on this season, I went back to that spot to look for him. and found where he was roosting, saw where he eventually, when he did pitch down, he hung up on the bottom.
Mhm.
And we were set up perfect. There's thick to our right, thick to our left. We're in this beautiful open area. There's one spot for him to come up, and that's right to us. And we're calling. He's answering every noise you make. And he's just gobbling and gobble. And usually birds do that and they'll hit the ground and stop. No. Bird hit the ground and immediately kept gobbling. I mean, he probably gobbled over 100 times in the tree. Pitched down late. It was like 7:15 he pitched down, which was pretty late.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like an hour after real daylight. And we're like, man, I gotta get up there. I gotta move. So I would just crawl up to the next little ridge where I could see over top. And it's like every 15, 20 yards, there's a blind spot that you can see down the next 15, 20 yards. So I just keep doing that. I keep working my way up to the next one, and you can just hear him pacing down at the bottom. Eventually, he goes quiet, and I think I boogered him up, and I'm kind of kicking myself because at this point I would have been within 50 yards. So I let out some calls, and sure enough, I hear a gobble like 200 yards to our right. So he must have just worked off that way, went quiet, and just started working off to the next area, and he just keeps hammering. So we run back up the hill. We run all the way over. We cut him off. We get set up. Again, here's where we screwed up. We did not go down that halfway point down the hill where that bird was comfortable. We stayed right on the top where you can see down in.
Oh, dude.
And it all happened fast. As soon as I called and we started moving and I kept calling, it started closing the distance on us. So we thought we were out of time. So I did end up closing distance on that bird. I belly crawled all the way up to it. And in the middle of my belly crawl, I tried to get around this big dead tree and set up in front of it so it would break up my outline. As I was crawling around it, instead of just setting up behind it, I put my gun forward and I look up and there's a giant redhead, probably the biggest bird head I've ever seen in my life, 20 yards away, looking right in my direction.
Oh, no.
The only thing I can think was I had very good cover, ground cover, and I had my full leafy suit on.
Yep.
I was very well covered and I was barely moving. But my thought is he heard me crawling and thought it was the turkey finally closing distance because we went cold. We stopped calling, and I think he kind of poked up looking for that bird, and when he didn't see it, and maybe he saw me a little bit, all he did was turn, walked right back down the hill, and was gone.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. We did hear him later on. He only went about 400 yards, started gobbling his head off again. Yeah, and it went on to private land, couldn't get to him.
Yeah, that's how it seemed to happen for me a lot of the time, too.
Yeah.
Just always something.
So, I mean, that was really exciting, though. I mean, that bird literally gobbled 400, 500 times throughout the day, and we had a lot of good audio of it. No one else saw the bird. I was the only one that saw it. And for that split second, I almost pulled off a prayer shot, but I figured I knew where he was roosting. I'd come back another day and try to find him. Came back another day, never found him. Never heard him again, and that was the last time I went in there. Yep.
Well, it happens, dude. It happened. But,
Yeah.
you know, you were lucky enough to get on another bird, weren't you?
I was. I got some pretty good intel from my brother John. His wife Brittany's parents, at their house, they have like a little horse farm, and they have some pretty good land. They were seeing 2 toms, a jake, and 2 hens religiously sending me pictures every single day.
Decent.
Right in their front yard, right in their driveway. I mean, all over their house. So Anthony and I kind of got in there, and we got set up, and we tried to hunt them a couple times, and we did see birds, couldn't get on them, and then finally we went out for our first afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the mornings before work where you could only hunt an hour. And we're walking in and he had cut a piece of that field. And we didn't know that. We were trying to walk into an area where the birds were usually in the neighbor's property early in the afternoon. Then they would work back up into her property
To roost.
Yeah. And we would kill them before they got on to roost. Well, sure enough, we go around the walk in to try not to spook these birds. And we bump right into them. If I didn't have my camera in my hand, I had to tow them at 10, 15 yards. But I had the camera in my right hand. And I just found out, like, Ferletta, you forgot the camera card. You forgot to put the SD card back in. It's like, we can't film anything without the SD card.
Dude.
And right as that happened, I looked up, and there's a bird just looking at me. And Ferletta's in front of me. He never saw it. Well, they boogied. The hens boogied and flew. He saw the hens. He never saw these gobblers. They were 10 yards away. Never saw them. They ran all the way across the field. By the time they got to the other side of the field, like 80 yards away, he's like, oh, look, there's the toms. I'm like, no shit.
Yeah.
What do you think I've been looking at this whole time?
Dude, you should have just threw the camera at him.
I could
You
have.
could have just killed him with the camera.
I had a wide open. I could have just crushed them.
Here's the thing. They do say when you're hunting, you don't just kill them with your weapon. You got to kill them with the camera, too. You could have taken that completely literally and
putting
just killed him with the camera.
That's put
You
a whole new perspective.
missed opportunity, dude.
I had my hand in the strap. The throw would have been bad.
Oh, dude.
So we decided we weren't going to go get the camera card.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go work around these birds, try to cut them off again still because they're low-pressured birds.
Absolutely.
We got a really good chance.
You had the GoPro, though, didn't you?
I did.
There you go.
I had the GoPro on me, so we went down around to the bottom of her property, down near the neighbor's property where the birds were supposed to be. Started coming up this little ridge where we hunted in the previous mornings, and we see a hen on the other ridge top. Okay, well, the hens flew away. They were the most spooked.
Mm-hmm.
Toms never knew what happened. They just kind of ran off and got confused because they stopped for a while on the other side of the woods before they worked off into them. And I'm like, well, the hens are there. Maybe the Jake will be with the hens because Jake was with the hens.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't have a bird. I don't care. I'm shooting anything.
Yeah.
Do not care.
Got a couple tags.
I have 2 tags to fill. I got to get a bird on the ground. This is late in the year. So we get up in there and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go down farther in where we saw him a couple mornings ago out of the roost. I'm going to set up. Anthony, you stay down here. Finally, I see the hens cresting the second ridge. And they start coming up and they start fooling around a little bit and they disappear, nothing with them. So I'm getting a little confused. I'm sitting there, I got my GoPro set up. I'm at least going to capture myself taking the shot, I hope. And some deer start working out. I take my GoPro and I'm filming the deer. Well, they start snorting and stomping, but they're not looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking off to my back right. And I'm thinking in my mind, there's got to be a bird over there. I mean, there has to be a turkey or something that's fooling with these deer because they're really into whatever's over there.
Right.
So I'm looking to my right, but I'm set up to shoot kind of the left and in front of me and back, way back to my right. Not even at like a 45 or a, what would that be, 3 o'clock. We're talking like 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Pops out a Tom with this giant beard just right on the 4-wheeler trail that I'm basically hunting off of.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just off the 4-wheeler trail on this giant tree. Nothing between him and I but air. So I do something stupid that we've talked about before.
You just sat your butt down.
I was like laying almost all the way down. I got real low to hide in those mayaples.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't turn on him. I didn't have enough time. He was working away from me. I just switched the gun to my left hand.
Oh, I know where you're going now.
Put my head all the way down on that barrel as best as I could. Slowly closed my eye. Put that bead right above where the neck meets the body. And I squeeze one off. At this point, I don't know if you've ever done this. You're right eye dominant, I take it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever tried to look at something with your right eye closed?
Absolutely. I shoot with both eyes open, though, so.
Right. And I do too with my bow now, and it's amazing.
Yeah, so much better.
So when I closed my right eye, I felt like that bird got 20 yards farther. I mean, it was just so weird and unnatural.
You're like hyper-focused at that point.
Yeah, it was awkward, but I really squeezed it off as best I could. That's the other thing. You're shooting with your left finger. Never done that before. This was dumb. I missed. Bad, I'm sure. Birds go flying everywhere. The 2 toms fly off to my right. The 2 hens fly off to my left. I turn and I get up on my knee and I'm sitting there like, you idiot. Did you really just do that? So I start clucking and purring and just making some soft noises. And sure enough, I see a turkey head pop up at like 70 yards.
Yeah.
No clue what it is. It's getting dark. The sun's right behind it. I'm like, all right. So I just keep clucking, soft purr. Cluck, soft purr, soft purr. This bird's coming right at me.
Yeah.
Head up, alert, just like, what is that? Where did you guys go? And it's diagonal, both sides of the trail, like giving me the perfect opportunity. If it's a beard on it, I would see it. Finally, it gets like 35 yards and turns, and I see a nubber. I'm like, that's the Jake. I was like, the Jake. Well, guess what, buddy? I just missed. I'm not going home empty-handed. He comes all the way into like 30 yards. I probably could have called him into my pocket at this point.
Yeah.
And I slammed him. I mean, I dropped him dead in its tracks.
Beautiful.
Crushed it. Yep. Filmed none of this on my GoPro.
Well.
Because I had it on sitting there like looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
But I never had time when he popped up. Everything happened so fast I never had time to actually record.
Yeah.
So I recorded my reaction on the recovery and it was actually really cool. It was different, man. But just to get a bird on the ground after like probably 3.5 weeks of really hitting it hard, day in and day out.
Felt good, man.
Oh, man.
Felt good. Little bird on the ground action.
It meant the world to me. Yeah.
Dude, absolutely. I'd have felt the same stinking way, man.
Yeah. And then, our buddy Booer just released a blog on, it's titled Just a Jake.
Mm-hmm.
And, he covers a lot of really good topics in that blog. And I suggest everybody go to Northern what is it? Is it their website?
NorthernOutcastOutdoors.com.
.com, okay.
And read their blog and read that actual article. And it's really great. He goes into a bunch of things and
it really recaps the essence of, because he got a lot of crap on his Jake.
Mhm.
I didn't post it. I did post it. I didn't post it like across any big media forums, but it just so happened that like Turkey Tuesday was that day, and this big forum with a lot of followers took his bird and posted it. It was amazing, but he got a lot of flack for it. So he made this article and this blog, and it was phenomenal.
Covers everything. It's a really good read. Go over and check that out.
And I'll tell you, we're in Western PA, man. We got a decent bird flock, but Easterns are stubborn. They're hard to kill, and I don't give a shit. They taste good. I am in it for the meat. I am not a trophy turkey hunter.
Absolutely.
When
man.
he told me he got flack for that, I was like, really? For a turkey?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I shot a bearded hen 2 years ago. You want to give me flack for that? I don't give a shit.
Yeah, man.
It's a bearded, legal bird.
Absolutely. A lot of people look down on bearded hens too, but I'm perfectly fine with taking that. If it's legal and you can kill it.
Well, not only that, I killed it on the first day. So it's not like it had a nest.
No.
Know, or anything like that you have to worry about, that its entire nest is going to get killed or whatever.
Right. And I mounted that turkey for you. It's a trophy to you. That's a really cool bird, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Super cool bird.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was pretty much my season. I went out with Lane Baker. It was on our last episode. A few times after that, we covered it, man. We had some opportunities, and I did have an opportunity to kill a Jake.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Jake. It was the coolest hunt. I'll wait to go into detail. I want to get you caught up on your season, and then I'll go into detail on that one because it was a really cool hunt. We'll make it as quick as possible, and then we'll jump into some fishing talk. What do you think?
Absolutely, man.
All right. Well, why don't you kind of start from kind of where you left off? I know you went a little cold, and you didn't really see much. You didn't really hear much.
I left off on right after Anthony's story.
Mm-hmm.
Then I left off on my Ohio hunt.
Right.
So after that, I kind of mentioned on the last podcast, I'm kind of a loner during the week. I like to go out and kind of do my own thing, and I'm real fast, run and gun. Like, I go to a spot. If there's nothing there, I leave and go to the next spot. Like, I might hit 5 spots in the morning right before work. Just real fast. If I go and I don't hear anything, I go to the next spot.
And it's nice because your schedule allows you to do that.
My schedule allows me to do that. Yeah, I can hunt until 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
I can hit a bunch of spots. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I hunted, I don't know, that first week or two, I hunted like 4 or 5 days, not a whole lot. Then after that, I started hitting a little bit harder. Had a bunch of good experiences. The one that really sticks out to me before I actually got my bird down, I was hunting and went into a spot blind, set up decoys. I set up a hen decoy and I set up a Jake, like a half strut Jake. Not super intimidating, nothing like that. And I'm there and it's just starting to get up light, and I just started real easy. Like, I did a fly down, was freaking perfect. I was so impressed with myself with how good it turned out.
A little fly down cackle.
Little fly down cackle. Right after that, dude, bird started hammering. That was the first, like, true gobble I heard all year. I was like, yes. And I just kept going real nice and light, and they kept gobbling. Real nice and light, kept gobbling. And then I started getting into it a little bit. And I heard them, fly down. They couldn't have been more than 80, 90 yards from me. And they started closing the distance fast. And I was like, yes, this is going to be good, man. So I'm sitting there and my decoys are actually like a little bit to my right. I did that on purpose because I was trying to get them on camera so I could just kind of pan past them when they were going.
Okay.
Doing it. I was trying to set myself up for a self-film.
Right.
So I see the birds pop out. I see their heads probably at like 70 yards. And I'm like, yes. Did a couple quick little yelps, quick little purr. And they're still coming in. They hit about that 40-yard mark. And they see that Jake. Now, both of them had clear, visible beards. Probably, they weren't the biggest birds I've ever seen, but probably 8 or 9 inch beards.
Yeah, they were the two we've been seeing all year prior to. They were nice birds.
Real respectable birds, man. I shot either one of them.
Yeah, probably a couple 2-year-olds.
Yep. They just definitely were not the dominant bird in the area because they saw that Jake and they just stopped on a dime. And they got all goofy. And I probably could have threw out a prayer shot, but I decided not to, and they just freaking took off. I was like, come on, man. So that was about as close as I had gotten at that point. After that, next week or so, I got on birds 1 or 2 more times. Nothing that close, but, I'd get to them to like that 80-yard point and they'd hang up. And then they'd go off and do whatever they wanted to do. Well, I was working one day and it was probably like, I didn't wake up real early that morning, so I was going to get off a little bit later, probably like 4 o'clock. And it was probably 3 o'clock. And Anthony called me and goes, hey, dude, I just drove past one property that we hunt. There's a big old tom out there with a hen. And I'm like, dude, I would love to go right now, but like, I'm not going to get off for another hour. And he was like, all right, that's fine. Like, I was like, I'm probably going to go out for work and just try and strike him up. He's going to be somewhere around there. And I got off work. I got all my shit together and I went out there and I drove out and I pulled in. Didn't see anything. I was like, all right, so they're probably on the hillside somewhere. Loaded my gun, didn't grab the camera like a dum-dum. And I go out and I'm just starting to get out into like where I'm going to walk in to go hunting. And he's freaking standing there right over the hen. I'm like, oh no, I froze right in my tracks and I got behind some cover and I was like, oh man. So I was like, the only way that I'm going to be able to do this is if I just pop out and shoot him. So I peeked around the corner and he was turned around. I was like, here's my chance. And I literally ran up and took a knee and he turned around and stuck his head up and I just freaking clobbered him, dude. It was the fastest hunt I've ever been on. It's like 5 minutes. Really good bird, man, honestly. 10-inch beard, a little over an inch spurs. I mean, just absolutely clobbered him. It was like absolutely perfect. I couldn't ask for anything better. Got a bird on the ground. I had like huge weight lifted off my shoulders. It was beautiful.
Yeah, because that was even later in the season.
Mm-hmm. That was the last week.
Yeah, that was the last week.
The Tuesday of the last week.
Okay.
And then I forgot to post pictures of it and then post them like at the end of the week. But, you know.
It all works out.
Yeah, it all worked out.
It was a good bird. It was a really good bird.
I was real happy with it, man.
Yeah. And then
you gotta eat good too.
that's the best part.
That's the best part, man.
I got my turkey legs, I got my turkey breasts.
Mhm.
I'm ready to go.
Literally, if I popped out and he was a Jake, I would shoot him anyway.
Hell yeah.
He just happened to have a beard.
He's got a beard? Okay.
Yeah, I
You
was shooting him no
gonna die
matter
today.
what, dude. If he had just a little freaking nub, he was going down because I was to the wire and I hadn't shot a turkey at that
Yeah.
point.
Well, that's how I was feeling 2 weeks prior to that. So
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Totally.
pressure will get to you.
Pressure will get to you, man.
And
It
it's
will.
not like there was that really pressure. It was just that everyone else was killing birds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tanner was dropping birds. I
Literally,
dropped
all of
birds.
my friends had shot a bird at that point, and I'm like, dude, I'm going to go out with tag soup. I got 3 tags burning a hole in my pocket right now.
Yeah,
Still
you,
wasted 2 of them, but
you and Booer were on crunch time, man.
it was bad,
to get
dude.
it done.
It was bad.
But yeah, so then Booer and I had planned to go back in. We were going to go in and back after those 2 toms that we had left at Brittany's parents' house. And we were going to get in after them. And I'm like, well, I got in contact with Lane. And Lane was like, dude, I can go out this morning. It was, Memorial Day morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, man, I promised to hunt with Booer. Like, he's been struggling. I'll go with you, but do you mind if he comes with me? Because I really need to get him a bird. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he needs to get a bird for his sanity.
Bad.
You know, he's having a really hard year, and he's like, absolutely, bring him on. We went out in the morning, and we went to a spot where Tanner and Lane had gone, and they'd struck up, literally, I think he said like a dozen different birds were gobbling.
Absolutely crazy.
Insane. So we're standing there, and it's getting that time, and we haven't heard anything.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, all right, he pulls out his out here. He's like, it's time to shock him.
Yep.
He lets off this wicked loud owl hoot. I mean, it just carries. We're on a nice high point we're hearing, and it just carries all through these fields. And all of a sudden, we hear a gobble way out.
Yeah.
Wow, big gobble. And we're like, dude, let's go. And he's like kicking himself because that was the spot he usually walks in from.
Mm-hmm.
And what he did with Tanner, he walked in from there, and all the birds were gobbling where we were. Well, now we walked in from a different side, and all the birds were gobbling over where he was with Tanner.
That's how it works, dude.
So we get down there, and we start working down closer to this bird, and he lets off another owl hoot, and it hammers again, and we start getting closer to a point where he owl hoots with his mouth because that owl hooter's way too loud. And another bird, different bird, gobbles off to our direct right.
Mm-hmm.
So we set up on it, and we're kind of in between because it's basically roosting on a tree line, a single tree line between a pasture and like an overgrown area where the bird had been frequenting earlier in the year.
Right.
We just figured we'll sit in the middle, wait to see which way it pitches down. If it makes any kind of noise, then we'll set up.
Right.
Because if we go to one side and he's on the other, he's not going to cross this fence
Yep.
or this tree. Basically, it's like a overgrown kind of tree line.
Mm-hmm.
So that bird goes totally quiet, and another bird gobbles, like to our 45. Kind of close, maybe 250 yards away. So we're like, let's go make a play on that bird. We start working in on it, and as we're closing the distance, and it's set up perfect, they're in front of me, I'm in the back, and I look up, and I see 2 hens standing in the wide open, like 300 yards away, just looking right at them. I'm like, guys, stop! And they all freeze, and they look back at me. I'm like, dead ahead. And the birds are just like, what is that?
Yeah.
And then and this bird was, before while we were moving on it, he's gobbling on his own. He's in the mood. Lane's like, this bird's going to die. Sure enough, what happened was I'm thinking, basically we're working through this overgrown cow pasture and there's cut fields on both sides kind of coming to a point up to a hill.
Mm-hmm.
To our right, we didn't know, probably where that first initial gobbler was gobbling with some hens, because we heard hens too. They must have flew down that way and started working up. And he was up at the high point on the left.
Right.
Saw those birds, started gobbling, showing off to try to get them to come up to them. And they were going to have a dance party in the middle of this field.
It was going to have a dance party.
It was going down. And sure enough, we boogered up his hens. And I'm sure as soon as they ran, he took off.
Absolutely.
And so we got on a bunch of different birds throughout the day, though. A lot of close calls. Booer ended up getting his bird later that day. I had to leave to go to my party, and I was having it at my house, which I was late for. Thanks, Lane and Booer. Got me in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it happened.
We got on a bird late. What do you want me to do? I'm sorry. Yeah. I didn't mean to, but I kind of rode with Lane, and I was not going to have them give up an opportunity on a really nice bird,
Yeah, man, I don't blame you.
I'm sorry. My wife, I'm sorry. Okay. So
my wife.
I ended up hooking up with Lane later on that week. Got to meet up with him. I think it was either the next day or a couple days later in the afternoon. It was hotter than all hell. We got out to a spot where he'd been seeing a lot of birds. He said he's been seeing like 3 longbeards, and there was a group of jakes, and we start walking in. He spots these birds. I don't even know how far away. I never even saw him. He's like, there's birds in the back corner. So we go all the way around, put this huge stalk on them. We get in. It's just, we put like the most beautiful, amazing stalk on these birds. We're 50 yards away. This deer works across the field right in the woods. It's like 12 yards away. We kind of tried to booger it off quietly, and we did. It didn't snort. He's like, well, this can go one of 2 ways. I'm going to get out my gobbler decoy. I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to go after them. If you get excited enough, at this point, we knew they were jakes.
Yeah.
We identified 2 birds as jakes. Third one, we weren't sure. So he goes out there, and he starts to get up the hill, and they see the decoy, and immediately I'm like, hey, their heads turned white. And as soon as I said it, he's like, get ready, they're coming. We both recognized those birds were in the mood.
Absolutely.
Here they come running. There's 3 of them. They come running at them. 2 jakes in the lead. The bird in the back acted really funny the whole time. He was always with the hens.
Mm-hmm.
He was never the one to close the distance on us. But you couldn't see a beard. We almost thought it was an older bird, maybe with beard rot. You couldn't make out a beard at all.
Yeah.
Like no nub, nothing.
That's super possible. That's pretty common here in PA, is beard rut.
And then there was the Jake that we couldn't see a beard on either. And then there was Super Jake with like a 4 or 5 inch beard, was all the way out and curved up. And those 2 are just gobbling right at him. And they're 10 yards in front of Lane. He's hiding behind this decoy, gobbling, making all kinds of noise, putting on a show. And I had him at like 10 yards. We didn't get a camera set up. It's the only thing. We had the GoPro.
Yeah.
But we didn't have a big camera or nothing. I'm like, I don't really want to shoot another Jake at this point.
Right.
At this point now, my thought isn't, oh, I'm not going to shoot a Jake. It's, I'm on Lane's property, that he manages his properties very well. And he told me flat out, I don't care. Shoot whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
If it gets you fired up when they come in, shoot them. Dude, I had my bead on that head so hard, my finger pressing on the trigger, and I just couldn't do it. I mean, obviously I wanted to kill something, but I knew who I was hunting with. I knew I had a whole week.
Yeah.
I wanted to get on a decent bird. I'm using my bonus tag. It's a bonus for a reason.
Absolutely. You can be a little bit more selective and picky. And
had I not already filled a tag once and on a Jake, I would have shot that bird. And I still would have almost shot that bird.
I don't blame you. Honestly, I'd have probably shot him. But
I know. But we did get on a gobbler later that day, and it just so happened that everything was so overgrown from the last time he was there that we expected the bird to do one thing, and he actually didn't have a spot to cross from one field to the other because it had gotten so overgrown, and we had, go figure, those 3-4 days of hard rain.
Yep.
There was probably 8-10 inches of water standing between us.
Oh, that's the
and
worst.
we couldn't get it, the distance to work. So
it happened, man.
But I filled my tag. I was happy. It was a great season.
Dig it. High five to a good season.
Yeah, that's a high five.
Good one. That was a good one.
We've
Lefty
been putting
too.
up some soft high fives on this podcast.
We have.
That's a good high five.
That's a good one.
I put a little extra into it.
Put a little extra oomph into it. Give it the onion. I like it.
So, I mean, that's it, man. That's our turkey season.
That was our turkey season, yeah.
You know,
Pretty eventful.
very eventful.
Came down to the wire for a couple of us, but it was good.
It was real good. It was a great season. Not disappointing at all. We had probably our best season ever last year. This season, for me, may have been more fun. I got out more. I got on more birds. I mean, I had a blast.
That's what matters, man.
A blast.
That's what matters.
And now I'm having fun fishing.
Now I'm having fun fishing. Me too, man.
I almost can't get, like, these giant bass out of my mind at this point.
Dude, you know, whenever we decided to, like, join this tournament and stuff, I was so amped. But, I mean, if you guys probably saw, we posted stuff every single day. We were hyping the hell out of this tournament. Mm-hmm. But now that we're fishing, dude, I'm in it so much more. I'm so jacked. Like, whenever I get a chance, I'm out on the water and I'm trying to catch fish. And, you know, we're both doing okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely lacking it. I've been out twice. So I've been out twice in the water. I've got my 5 fish in. Mm-hmm. My biggest fish is 12 inches.
That happens, though.
Dink City. I just wanted to feel my first 5. But I've been lacking on my tackle. So I went out, spent a bunch of money at Field and Stream, bought a bunch of new lures, haven't even put them in the water yet. It's like the worst timing ever for work to start picking up and getting busy. And then it's been raining so much, I got to cut grass on the side. So I had just not been out on the water. I will get out this weekend.
Attaboy. That's the attitude I want to hear.
It's going to happen, and I'm going to catch some toads.
I would like to say, though, for all of you listening, your vote would be greatly appreciated. I am currently running for the mayor of Dink City.
But I am in the lead strongly, so he needs some support. I'm in the lead of Dink City.
Well, maybe.
My fish are way smaller than yours.
Yeah, but I've caught more dinks. That's all I can catch lately is dinks. And, you know, you're riding with a respectable bag. It's not the biggest bag, but you're riding at 56 inches and 56 and 3/4 inches.
It's not good. That's just over 11-inch average.
It is. It's not great. I'm running at 64.
But you went up to Lake Erie, you cheater.
I did run up to Lake Erie. I got actually a funny story about Lake Erie. Oh my gosh. So me and my wife drove up there on Saturday. Got out a little later than we wanted to. Went to the first spot, caught a couple nice largemouth. I put a fish on the board. I was like, this is going to be freaking awesome. And then we went out into the bay, Misery Bay, and my wife caught a nice largemouth. Then she catches a freaking slob smallmouth, which was awesome. It was like, wasn't the longest fish ever. I think it was like 16 inches. But dude, I threw it on the scale. It was just shy of like 4 pounds. That's a big smallie.
That is. That's some girth.
And then I hooked into my personal best smallmouth of all time, dude. I'm telling you, this thing was probably pushing 5 pounds.
Jeez.
It was enormous, dude. And I'm reeling this thing in. I'm not horsing it. I got my net right next to me. I'm ready to freaking grab it. And guess what happened?
To spit it?
The fish was so big it straightened the hook.
Oh.
On a Ned rig, dude. They were freaking stout hooks, and that thing straightened the hook and came right off. I could not believe it. I lost my mind. Like, I was like defeated at that point. Fished some more, caught a couple small ones, nothing too crazy. And then we were like, all right, let's get out of here. We'll come back tomorrow. Woke up the next day real early. I got out on the water exactly when I wanted to. Put my next 2 fish on the board. That gave me 5 fish, and I was like, this is awesome. This is going to be the greatest day ever. We go out into the bay. Brooke catches another largemouth. She's freaking got her 5 fish on the board. Everything's good.
I thought you were going to leave that detail out that you got your ass handed to you.
No, I wasn't gonna leave that out. Yeah, my wife is kicking my butt, by the way. She has a way better bag than I do.
She's beating me, but you two have fished together, so you have no excuse. You're getting your ass handed to you because you are not catching as many fish there with equal opportunity.
Dude, listen, here's where I'm getting to. I would be slamming a lot of people if I landed the 2 fish that I had on. My next fish that I got onto out in the bay, bigger than the one the day before, would have absolutely be my personal best.
Largy?
Humongous smallmouth, dude.
Smallie.
Giant. Like, absolutely giant. I've never seen a smallmouth this big in my life. Get the thing up to the boat, the yak, and I had to fumble trying to get to my net, and it frickin' spit the hook, dude. Oh, you want to talk about frustrated. I lost my mind the first time. I had a freaking conniption the second time. Dude, it would have absolutely put me up so much higher than I already was. It was an enormous fish. I just wanted to put my hands on it, even if I didn't get on the bump board.
Absolutely.
If I would have just landed it. And I was so mad. So that was probably like 9:45 in the morning, right? Still got a lot of time to fish. We're like, well, there's a couple inlets over this way and like a canal system on the other side of Misery Bay. We're like, let's go check that out. No, it's a good largemouth area. We'll just see if we can put a couple more fish in the bag. We paddled the whole way across Misery Bay. It's not a small bay. It's right off of Presque Isle Bay, so it's not as big as Presque Isle Bay, but it's pretty big if you're in a kayak. Get the whole way across there. I'm like, damn, that was far. We fish around in the in the canals for a little bit. It was just full of cottonwood, like that white stuff that lands on the water. Messing up my reel, everything. I was like, forget this. This is terrible. Like, I can't even cast. There was so much stuff on my line. So we're like, all right, let's just go back to the original bay that we were in. We'll catch some more largemouth and we'll go home. We paddled out into the bay. And we're like, damn, the wind's picking up a little bit. Everything was fine. We probably got a quarter way across and a frickin' storm blew in, dude. It's a big bay to be on a kayak and it starts white capping. Hard. Like, I'm getting frickin' rocked in my kayak, and so is Brooke. And I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna die. So we both start paddling our asses off, man. Like, paddling. I get about halfway across, and I am shot. My arms are frickin' shot, dude. I'm like, dude, the Coast Guard is gonna find me. Like, it was so bad.
If you're lucky.
Brooke's out ahead of me. She keeps turning back and looking at me. I'm like, just go for the shore. And we're paddling, and dude, it was like, it freaking took forever. I got to the other side, and I still had to get to the freaking opening of the bay. I was like, oh my God, it is freaking going crazy right now with wind. Like, I'm talking, it got bad. I finally get into the bay, and I still have another, like, 300-yard paddle to the truck. Got to the truck, my arms literally detached from my body and just fell into the water. It was awful, man. That drive home was brutal because my arms were on fire.
Yeah.
And that was the last time I fished until yesterday. I was beat, to say the least.
I got my eyes on a couple small ponds. With all the bad weather we've been having lately, I'm afraid to go anywhere near big waters anywhere because
that's going to be the last time I do that for a while.
Yeah. You never know. I mean, it's literally been raining like every day. It's been super windy out. Like, small ponds, bring it on. Get me in there. Let me go catch some dumb fish, because I need some dumb fish right now.
Yeah. You don't need as dumb a fish as Walt needs, though.
Oh, my gosh. Walt's the worst.
Walt is having the... All right, so the creator of this tournament, Walter Lee...
Who
from
puts
the
a
Chasing
tournament
Tales,
together specifically for fishing for bass off a kayak and then doesn't record a fish?
He's having the worst luck, dude. He can't catch a fish right now to save his soul.
I mean, I'm not feeling like the king of the north compared to some of the other creators, but I'll tell you what, I feel like the king of all the entire 7 kingdoms next to Walt.
I know he's going to come in at the end and just freaking slam us, but...
I hope not.
You know what? Chase is doing great.
Chase is having a very good tournament.
Chase is throwing us a beating, dude.
I think he's number 2 in the creators right now, behind just Parker and just in front of Greg Godfrey.
I don't know if he's in front of him anymore.
He
I think
is.
Greg
I just looked
ahead.
today.
Oh, really?
Yes, I did.
All right.
And they're both going out and they're going to do some fishing together over the next, today and tomorrow?
Yep.
So I don't know. They could be changed right now. They've been fishing this entire afternoon.
Yeah.
This whole evening.
They headed down to Lake Seminole, down there on the Florida-Georgia line. We were actually supposed to go down, but work screwed both of us, so.
I text Walt and I asked him if Florida-Georgia line was fishing with us. And I wanted a better response, and I didn't get the good as response I wanted.
Oh, man. Yeah. No, I wanted to go down there and see those guys and meet up and catch some fish with them, but it just didn't work out. We'll get it down there another time.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
I really wanted to go down just for the opportunity to meet those guys face to face, drink I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 30 racks of bushels, some bush lattes, just get all kinds of weird. But that's not going to happen this weekend.
No.
Unfortunately.
I'm bummed about it, but, work got in the way, so it just is what it is.
Yeah. Initially, I was going to try to take today off tomorrow off, but then I realized I forgot about my cousin's wedding. That was tomorrow afternoon, and that would have been bad.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
But I'm glad I didn't because I have so much work. I'm way behind.
Well, it happens, man. It happened. That's life.
Unfortunately, my busy month this year is June. Last year and the year before was like July or August. This year it's June. Everything's going down in June. But my birthday's coming up.
Ooh.
Yeah, buddy.
How old you gotta be? 14?
No. 19.
My bad.
Jeez, you know this. I just talked about illegal drinking on the podcast, didn't I?
Oh man, no, it's gonna be good though. We still got time to get out. We're gonna do some more fishing. I know you and me both are gonna do some fishing this weekend. Let's put some bigger fish in the bag and show them what's up.
Yep. I'm going to take a stab at the FGs here real quick and say that I'm going to at least call 3 fish this weekend.
That's beautiful.
So I mean, that's not hard to do. Any fish I catch pretty much should call one of them. I mean, my goodness, I have been nothing but dinks. But I've only been running spinner baits. Literally only spinner bait. So I got my tackle up to date. I'm actually a respected tackle now.
Yeah.
I'm at the level just above, like, incompetent. So
it's all good, dude.
How it goes.
It's all good,
I got
dude.
some intel on a pig Smalley was caught in the pond that I'm going to try to go to this weekend.
Ooh, decent.
Yeah.
I like it.
Some buddies were out of town. This past weekend, we put on a softball tournament, and they hit this pond up, and they were telling me where it was, and I'm like, dude, I'm going to that pond this weekend. Like, I'm going there, and he showed me pictures of this giant Smalley. And
beautiful.
I was teaching him how to do the hero pose. I'm like, dude, your arm is way too close to your body. Like, you got to get that out and just enough bend in your arm, you know, like I don't know what you would call that angle there, but like a 75, 80 degree,
yeah, dude.
You know? You got to get that out there and just kind of show that bad boy off a little more.
Beautiful.
He's a pig.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he told me what Lori caught him on and everything, so I am ahead of the game.
I'm hoping you freaking slam some big ones this weekend, man.
I'm hoping you're there with me.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to be going somewhere. I don't know what the hell I'm going to be doing, but something's happening.
This weekend, we're getting somewhere.
I like it.
Catch some damn fish. But enough fish talk on this damn hunting podcast.
We're almost up to time, but let's get a little bit in on the early season scouting and trail cam.
Yeah, man. I mean, we bought a couple trail cameras.
Mm-hmm. We bought a couple more to add to our arsenal.
And thanks to turkey season and doing a little bit of additional deer scouting while turkey hunting, I know one spot I want to put one.
Beautiful.
For sure.
Beautiful.
And I'm thinking this could be a honey hole spot. Hopefully.
I like it, man.
Fingers crossed. Nice part is you can set up there, do an observation, but potentially kill at the same time. And you should be able to see as far as your eyes can touch both ways and see anything that's crossing up over into one property that we have permission onto the property we don't have permission. And then we hopefully can make a move. So, but I mean, I'd like to put some trail cameras in where my doe I shot last year ran into.
Oh, yeah.
You got that spot marked.
I got a couple spots marked there on Onyx. That was good.
Dude, those trails in there were stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They were absolutely stupid.
Dude, it looked like a freaking cow was going through there.
Unreal. And I know it's wet and swampy, but dude, come on.
Mm-hmm.
That was some good sign. And we had pictures. I left my trail camera baking all year last year. We had some pictures of some toads.
Dude, for sure.
Some hammers. I mean, there's some good bucks in there.
It is.
Hopefully there's another year old.
Do you want to tell everybody where it is?
I can tell them if you want to. I mean,
go for it. Just tell everybody because we want everybody hunting there.
I will personally invite everybody to my spot. Okay, it is 107.95 north degree radius. I have no idea what I'm talking about right now. Here's where it really is. When you're driving, we're in Pennsylvania. You head north, okay, and you're just about to that New York border.
Mm-hmm.
It panhandles.
Right.
We've talked about this 100 times. If these guys don't know where we're hunting by now, they're stupid.
Yeah.
It panhandles right there. And right on the other side is West Virginia. They touch.
Yeah.
There's a line where they touch.
Yeah.
We are right there on the point.
Right on the
point.
point.
Now, this spot's a little more north, but it's right there.
You can find it.
It's a swamp. It's easy to see.
Yeah.
There's
right when you get to the tip of the panhandle, there's a swamp right there.
There's a swamp
right there.
There's a cow there.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, if you see the cow with 3 black spots, you're in the wrong spot. Keep going north. Okay? You want the cow with the brown spots. 2 brown spots. Spotted cow.
Spotted cow. Let's go.
All right.
All right, so I'll see everybody there.
Enough being stupid.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking? What do you I know we're still fishing right now, but I'm starting to get deer on my mind.
Dude, deer haven't left my mind.
I know.
Even in turkey season, deer were on my mind. I just can't get them out. There's so many things running through my head. It, like, literally keeps me up at night.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot, like, am I going to saddle hunt this year? Am I going to still do my lock-on stand?
Yep.
What climbing method am I going to commit to? there's a lot going on in my head.
I agree,
that
man.
I am running out of time to start getting those things and getting the practice in.
I agree. There's like 3 of the normal spots I want to put cameras out, and then there's actually 2 new additional spots that I've found that I want to put cameras out, and that's kind of be what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to see what turns up on those after I put them out, let them soak for a month or 2, and then if I don't have anything that I want on there, probably going to move them a little bit. But
Yeah. Well, there was that one spot that we put down by where the spider got in.
oh
That
my
was-
gosh,
That was a wasted camera last year. So,
It
I mean,
was.
you're going to have that camera free if you ever go clean it out and get the spider out of there. That's, I'm guaranteeing, nesting right now as we speak.
I'm horrified to open that camera, dude.
I would burn the whole camera.
Yeah.
You want me to burn it for you?
Probably.
Too bad. I'm not getting near that camera. with
Dude,
spiders
that
in
was the
it.
biggest spider I've ever seen in my life. Inside my camera somehow. Don't know how it happened, but it did.
I did leave my bear box in the woods last year, so I'd
Yeah.
like to get my camera back up into that spot.
Yep.
It'd be nice and easy, and I'll
There
have to
you
bring
go.
like the drill and everything in with me. I just slip in, drop the camera, get the hell out. I got a lot of great pictures on that camera last year. The one I posted today on our site
Yeah, man.
was from last year, early August. The camera stayed on for like 2 weeks, and it shit the bed on me.
Dude, it happens, man. I know. It's sad.
And it never came back. It's gone.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is. But we'll get some cameras out. We'll get some new intel, and we'll see where we got to go from there. That's about it for me.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, if I find some more time, maybe in July and August, I'll start trying to hit some fields and maybe do a little more of the Lane Baker style of scouting, a little on-the-road scouting.
On the road scouting. Yeah, I dig it, man. I
Yeah.
dig it.
There's a spot last year I saw deer every single day going up into the season. I never hunted it once.
Well, that's your fault.
I mean, they were all doe, but still, yeah, it is my fault. 100%.
I can think of one spot that you've told me about several times that you actually saw one shedding. A real good buck shedding. That if you don't hit this year, it's
Dude.
going to make me very sad.
Why I never went and looked for that antler blows my mind.
Yeah, man.
Stupid.
I can-
Absolutely stupid. And then there's that other spot near there that we can go on that's public land.
Agreed.
I was just driving by looking at that today, looking down into this nice creek bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sucker for creek bottoms.
I am too, man. Surprisingly.
I love them. It's the terrain change. It's,
Mhm.
you have so much going on usually in a creek bottom. And I've seen some slobs come out of creek bottoms or cross them, or, it's usually just a really good spot to be around anything with water.
I agree, man. I agree. There's a couple spots I want to hit early season too, because we've been in there since. We've learned.
Yeah.
We're going to go in. Now we know what we're doing in that area. It's going to be good.
Are you talking about 2B?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking, and that's actually, the spot isn't 2. No, it's not.
It's not. Right above it, man. Yeah.
It is literally right across the street is 2B on the other side of the street.
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
But that's okay. We definitely do have a year under our belts on that.
We know what we're
The
doing down there
public
now.
land.
We have some spots picked out. We did a ton of in-season scouting last year.
Ton. I even
Ton.
went late season.
Yeah.
I went there a couple times in late gun season. I mean, I got some intel on that spot, and it's pretty heavy pressured. But the spot that we want to go to, where we went to last year,
Mm-hmm.
all we had to
We
do
were
was
so
go
close.
another 60 to 80 yards.
Yeah, it was just so thick we couldn't see.
Had no clue what was going to be on the other side. And we said that. We're like, well, what if it's more of this? Like, we were
Yeah.
getting into some jungle stuff.
We went in blind, and we thought we were in a good area. We were just off of the good area,
We were not far from it.
not far from it.
And I killed a deer there last year.
You did. You
right
did.
where I want to be in archery. That spot looked really good.
All I have to say is, come early season, those deer better be scared.
I did not say that. I do respect the DGs. I may have punched the FGs in the face on this podcast today, but I respect the DGs,
I
damn
respect the DGs too. I didn't say anything crazy. I just said they should be scared.
it. I don't know this guy.
It is. It is what it is. It is.
I don't know who he is. Where am I? Why am I here?
Yeah.
So that's cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. I want to get with you. I want to map some things out. Maybe we'll go ask for some permission.
Oh, we're going to go
One.
ask for permission. We're going to dedicate a day, and we're just going to drive all
We need-
over the
we need to
freaking place.
Dedicate a month.
I like
month.
it. I like it.
We're going to get serious about this. I want a notebook full of permission.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude.
I don't care if it's deer hunting. I don't care if it's turkey hunting. I don't care if it's coyote hunting.
Yep.
I want some sort of permission on 10 new properties next year. Can we do it? I don't know if I can do another high five. Pound it.
Pound it. Ooh, you
That
got the
hurt.
ring.
I'm okay.
It's all good.
That's what I want to do. That's my goal.
I agree. That's a good goal to set.
Going into the season, I'm going to get all my cameras up. I'm not messing with them. I'm staying out of the woods. I'm done getting eaten up and sweating in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't done it in like 2 years. I just went out like with McCoy, got him some intel. I'm getting him set up in his new spot. He's going to kill a slammer this year. Can't disrespect DGs if you're talking about someone else.
Ooh, there you go.
Yes, that's how it's done.
I like
He's
it.
going to kill a giant this year. I'm telling you right now, I'm figuring out his spot for him. We're going to put a little bit of work in. We're going to get the hell out for once.
Leave it
Mike,
alone.
get the hell out. Stay out. And come first day, boom. Going to walk right by him.
Dig it.
Barely holding his head up.
Barely holding his head up.
Going to be so much horn. He can barely hold his head up. And then,
Oh, damn. I like it.
and then he's going to shoot over his back by 6 inches. But he's going to bound closer. And he's going to whack him on the second shot.
Oh, God. That's highly optimistic. It is what it is. I dig it. I like it.
All right, man.
I like it.
Well, let's wrap this thing up. That was a good episode, man. We
Yeah,
got
man.
turkey season wrapped up. Turkey season's done. We're moving on. We're fishing. We're looking into hunting. We're looking into some good guests. We're going to maybe make some summer trips this summer.
Maybe. I like
we
it.
got stuff going on. We got to shoot 9 days away. So shoot your bow, Austin.
It's going to be intense.
Because I need to shoot mine.
Shoot yours. I've already shot mine twice.
Come on. That doesn't count.
I know. I wasn't like preparing for turkey season. I ended up missing. I didn't talk about that, and I'm not going to.
Oh, man.
Oh,
All right.
man. Anyway, you guys can always find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Go Wild, Twitter, at the Whitetail Distraction Podcast. You can also send us an email at the Whitetail Distraction Podcast at gmail.com. No pressure.
You sure can. Remember, we have a spot open on our shoot. Send us an email.
Send us an email.
Say, hey, I want to shoot with you guys. Actually, you know what? You don't have to shoot to go to this event. Let me make this clear. You can just go. If you show up before, like, say, 3 o'clock-ish, you don't pay anything to get in. You come in. You can enjoy the raffles. There's shooting competitions.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of fun little games and stuff. You don't have to shoot, I don't think, to participate. As far as I know, you don't. You just pay your $5 or whatever it was.
I'm not sure.
You get 3 shots, and there's a bunch of different games and stuff that go on. Not only that, Route 66 Sports, Sporting Goods, they're going to have their booth set up with all the new bows that we're going to go slobber over again.
That's true, man. That's true.
You know, there's a ton going on. Live bands at night.
It's
Sorry,
gonna
I'm
be
not
fun.
going on that tangent again, but
It's going to be fun.
boom, let's do it.
All right.
That's it. That's all I got, man.
Well, the distraction's real.
The distraction is real.
Let's go.
Obviously.
Obviously.